Hello and welcome to the Morning Skate Podcast. I am Matt Moody, joined by DJ Mitchell, here to talk about the Thursday, April 2nd NHL Daily Fantasy Slate. Let's get into it.
You're saying they're looking like an idiot.
Well, is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong.
DJ, it is April 2nd, and it turns out your betting slip was not an April Fool's joke.
I knew you were going to say it. I mean, dude, Granlund is shooting and playing like 24 minutes, and it was 20 points better on DraftKings, and I've fallen for the trap. When he plays 23 minutes tonight and has exactly 2 shots on goal at minus 168, you'll be laughing. You'll be laughing as if I'm a big dunce on April Fool's. But you know what? During the show, I will update every time he has a shot on goal. So if you're listening to this podcast and you never hear me say he has a shot on goal, you know that I'm extra sad.
All right.
As of right now,
throw the link in the Discord. I added everyone, but you didn't tweet it or anything.
Oh,
I don't think.
You're right. I didn't tweet it. I can do that. Why don't you talk about your Tuesday and your whatever days?
Perfect. Yes. Tuesday was a day. I feel like I had the right reads once again. Monday stacked Pittsburgh into 8 goals and got 1 point out of it across 3 players. Tuesday stacked Pittsburgh, got no points out of Erik Karlsson. Actually didn't stack Pittsburgh. And then I stacked 5 stacked Washington, and they scored 5 goals. And I got 2 OV goals, a McMichael assist, and that's it. So tough scenes. Lost money on the main slate. Barely made my money back on Showdown. So shout out to Captain Jordan Eberle, who did nothing, but I was in small stake or a small field donkey fest, and just enough to eke out money back. So we take that anytime we can. Wednesday was an interesting day. If you are on the underdog streets, you know the Zamboni. The playoff contest closes, obviously, game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. I ran sims for last year's data, last year's contest. I basically simulated last year's playoffs a bunch of times. And then I went on the Badge Bros to talk about it, and we ran some drafts there. So that was my overnight into today. That stream was this afternoon, so please go check that out if it's interesting to you. John and I had a great time. The hockey starts about halfway through, maybe a little bit less than halfway, because I know John and I talked for quite a while. But really a fun time there, and something you can look forward to on my newsletter, moods.beehive.com. You can find last year's write-up as well if you are eager. I cover this on the show in depth, more depth, but basically the things I found last year also applied to this year. So there's sort of more certainty going forward that we quote unquote have the right strategy. So anyway, that was my day. It was a good day. Always a good time to go on the Batch Bros. So, but here we are back in wonderful DraftKings land. Here to talk about is it 13 games? 14.
14 games.
14.
Wait, let me give just a quick Tuesday, Wednesday for myself too. Just 2 quick things. First and foremost, went to the Sabres game on Tuesday. What a great time that is. Get your local professional hockey rink if you have one in your area. I mean, they're just so much fun. And it's just, if you're in the north like me, it's just so much nicer now that it's not absolutely fucking freezing going in and out of that arena. Like walking out with just my jersey on, no jacket. Beautiful stuff. Definitely get down to a game. And then on Wednesday today, I don't even know if I mentioned this to you. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I got thank you from the organization that a bunch of you donated money to. I will post the links again. The concert that actually is sort of like the spearhead of all of this is at the end of April. So we'll post it a few more times. But like the CEO and the COO sent me these really, really nice notes thanking me for, I'm guessing, no idea of what I really do to get people that wanted to donate money, because that certainly didn't come up. I think they just think I'm some good Samaritan that must have some sort of influence. And they're just like, it really means a lot. Like, it's so great. Thank you so much. Like, whatever, raising mental health awareness and our mission and stuff. I mean, again, it's just a place for people recovering from, I think it's more than just mental health situation, by drugs. And I haven't really dove into all of it yet, but yeah, definitely still time to donate. It'll be all month. I'll probably post it a few more times. And now they're actually like starting to push. And my friend texted me saying like, hey, like we're starting to push it. I think the fact there's already a ton of money raised and a ton of donations is helping because people are donating. Like you just kind of want to be a part of something, I guess. So yeah, like thanks to everyone that did it. It's obviously still time. And you'll join kind of the pantheon of people. And then hopefully they don't look up too much about me because they'll be like, wait, you're like part of the, whatever. We'll worry about that later.
Hey,
Anything you want to say?
All money's good money, even if it's a giant loser getting them to give money.
Hey, announced giant loser. Okay. Oh, Leo Carlson, not Mike Miko Granlund. Okay. Let's get to the slate though. You were pulling some things up, and I will also say I did watch almost all of your stream on the Badge Bros, and it was very, very insightful. A lot of good takeaways from last year leading to this year. I think it was the first tournament that I have drafted 100. I did not do 150, but the first one I drafted that I did, I know I did not come out like EV negative on. So I definitely want to get some, retool, replenish, go back to the well. I just didn't have enough Florida last year, and what are you going to do? So, really good job. I will say that my, we'll save the takeaways and the best puck, Zamboni drafting, because we'll be doing some of that ourselves. But if you have any questions, watch that video. If you don't get all your answers, we'll do some more stuff and, reach out if you have any questions. I think you'll be doing a write-up as well.
Yes, that is correct. All right.
Okay.
We have 14 games to get to. Let's hop into it. I am presenting the sheet. Do you have a set of birthdays?
No, I don't at all. I actually did not look that up. You said you were presenting, and I said your bottom. I didn't call you a bottom. I said you're presenting your bottom.
I see. I'm showing my ass to the world here. There are too many
actually, let me say one thing now that I'm looking up the birthdays. If you would have played the birthdays on last slate, you would have played Connor Ingram and Jacob Chikrin. I got to tell you, would have gone well.
I should have seen. I played 5 Washington Capitals and didn't play Jake Chikrin. I drank the Cole Hudson Kool-Aid, and I feel like such a donkey.
Wow. All right, April 1st birthdays that we've already missed were Riley Smith, Sergei Murashov, the goalie for Pittsburgh. I don't think Marashov. Yeah. Cody fucking Glass, Matt. You did miss Cody Glass' birthday on the 1st. Sorry about that. And Warren Fogle. We move over to the 2nd. Do you want me to do the play as we go, or do you want me to tell you them right now? Okay, actually, won't matter either way because there is one player that's played an NHL game this year who has a birthday. And I don't believe they're in their respective teams.
And I will spend the next hour trying to guess it. Damn it.
No, Noah Juleson. I'm not playing that game. I honestly not even sure what. I think he's on Florida now. Is that right? Or is he on Philly?
Jesus Christ. Philly. Yep. Good pull there.
Yep. I pulled it up. I did not guess. I decided to look it up. I don't know why I thought he was on Florida. Just my brain. Okay.
If I had another 10 seconds, I might have been able to get that because he's in their lineup still. But anyway, let's see. Vegas totals. What are we looking at? Tampa's got a big total. Some news there around Brandon Hagel's availability that we'll cover in a 6.5. That would be the highest total until we get to Edmonton. They're hosting Chicago. So, of course, they'll be worth mentioning. We have the San Jose Toronto Donkey Fest to get to. Otherwise, not a ton. Maybe if the Vegas Calgary total moves up, but I can't imagine why it would. But, people love
Buffalo,
steaming
Ottawa,
Calgary.
But it's like Ottawa's actually a slate home favorite, which I guess that's not that surprising. It's basically a pick though.
I guess Minnesota hosting Vancouver is also not listed yet because they're playing right now. So Vancouver on a road back-to-back.
No, it's up. I think it just updated seconds ago. -395, 6.5.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your ownership check-in. Minnesota, some on Tampa, Edmonton and Minnesota certainly. And then
I think Montreal. I could see Montreal getting some steam, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll talk about them. Their price tags are pretty much going to limit ownership, I think. But otherwise, yeah, the rainbow's here. If you want to go on the YouTube, the podcast is always in YouTube form. I will post a rainbow sheet prior to the slate, and it'll have some player information and whatnot alongside it. But let's get into the game by game. Starting off at 7 o'clock, we have Columbus, second leg of a home and home with Carolina. So Columbus at Carolina now. Um, I'm not expecting their top line to change, but keep an eye out. I'm not sure how much it matters on a 14 game slate. We're not stacking against Carolina IMO. But last game with no Matthew Olivier, they went Marchment, Fantilli, Marchenko, Jenner, Monahan, Garland. Heinen slid into that spot with Sillinger and Coyle. Kent Johnson, Lundestrom, Wood didn't play at all. Borensky, Fabro, Provorov, Goodbranson, Matejchuk, Zamula. I'm not sure Damon Severson's status. I don't really care. I have a problem with last game's time on ice usage, DJ. Would you like to pull that up and let me know if you notice anything in a game that they lost and were trailing throughout?
I have a couple guesses. One would be Kent Johnson playing 8 minutes. Another would be them playing Provorov 25 and Goodbranson 21.
I was gonna say
they played Monahan, Jenner, and Coyle more than Marchenko, Fantilli, and Marchment. I mean,
yes. As a matter of fact, it would be that Sean Monahan. He of the less than 3 fantasy points a game over the last 10 led the team in time on ice over Marchment, Fantilli, Marchenko. Like, are we even trying to score here? I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, no, it's completely unplayable nonsense. It's kind of. I think you actually. I'll take a line from you on the Badge Bros to prove that I watched. I think it was, quote, "I'm a lot lower on Columbus than most people." I think I can't remember what you said exactly. Actually, it was something along the lines of like, I think it's all. I don't know. I use the word hoopla, but you kind of made it sound like, like what are we really doing here with this team? Like, everybody seems to think they're like the hottest team in hockey and they're, on this absolute war path, but it just feels very unsustainable. I just have, I mean, maybe you could say that about my Sabres as well. I think at the end of the day here, this is too expensive. It feels like they're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks at this point. I have no actual faith in their coach. Long term, a good shock to the system. It got him going. It might get him a playoff berth, but like, this is a mess. Not playable, no interest. And I think really it's just the $8,400 Zach Werenski of it all. Like, how do you stack this team without him, and how do you possibly pay that price tag? You can't. So be a big old pass for me.
Yeah, all sounds good to me. I have no interest, but look out for changes because they did just lose 5-2. But those changes should not matter.
2-2 going into the third, and then they shit their pants, and they're like, "How do we fix this? Let's play Gabrin, Provorov, Jenner, and Coyle, and Monahan. Perfect, all fixed. We scored." On the other side, Carolina. I mean, we're a broken record. Like, I'd love to see them beat me. I beg for them to do it. They don't. They won't. They like, it really does feel like too, like they're even playing a less conducive for fantasy than you think situation. Like, they're really, really spreading the 5-on-5 minutes, and it's all going to come through the power play, which it did. They had 3 power play goals in this game, which really brought them from being completely irrelevant to almost relevant. But yeah, not anywhere near worth the squeeze here. None of these players excite me. None of them are worth their price tag, other than like, maybe you could argue taking a look at this second line, but I just would argue against it myself.
Yeah, I think Nick Ehlers and Shane Gostisbehere would be the 2 guys I look at here. The top line is getting less. They're getting cheaper. It's 19.7K for the threesome. It's not great by any stretch, but it's better than before at the very least. So you're not really getting the expected points. You're not getting the actual fantasy points at all from that line, but they're getting cheaper. So like, I understand the matchup and whatnot, but I think you get sort of the same vibe from Ehlers and Gostisbehere. Stalls starts the power plays, but Ehlers had 2 primary assists on the power plays, so it's very clear that when the puck gets cleared, immediately up Stahl goes off and on comes Ehlers. So that'll remain the case, and Ehlers has been their best fantasy forward. And then Gossespierre is obviously very good and is less than 5,000. 4,900, so it's a bit cheating, but definitely my favorite under 5K play here.
Thoughts on Taylor Hall getting three? He really doesn't have 300 career goals. Is that what you're telling me? That can't be right.
That doesn't.
Right? Does it feel like he has more
How?
than 300 goals? Yeah, he has 299 goals.
Has he played like 800 games? I feel like he's played
983, almost at 1,000
Holy
games.
fuck. My God. Well,
He really, I mean,
NHL
he certainly
MVP,
fell
Taylor
off
Hall.
quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
That was one fun year, though.
Well, thank you for breaking my brain. Let's go to
Yeah, I
the
feel like that was
Boston Bruins.
the answer is that maybe. Next.
Love that. Love the confidence.
It's weirdly not a revenge narrative for him, so I can't in good conscience bet it. Boston.
Fair enough. Boston, they kept their power play sort of switcheroo, but I think they scored on a 4-on-3 power play with Lindholm and Geeky out there. So let's see. Is that would that be the? I don't know how. I think that's how math works, or how counting works more specifically. But this line too, Middlestat, Zaka, Arvidsson. I think they also ceiling again. Lastly, Pavel Zaka on a heater. Talk about your cover boy.
Cover boy. Yeah. I feel like we were both slowly banging the drum for him. And I mean, really, I think you spearheaded. I cannot take full credit here. Like you were like, this second line, pretty good. And they were like, say that again. You could say that again. You could say that again. But like the reality is they've just really been capitalizing way more than they were before, but like really producing the same expected output. I can't, I'm not saying that you couldn't chase Zaka to 4,700. That's not that egregious, but you kind of missed the boat here. If you were playing it all along, cool. If not, I mean, I don't know, but he's a 30 goal scorer at 4,700 with a pretty prominent role at a pretty good matchup. Like it's totally fine to play him, Arvidsson. I'm still kind of not a Middlestad guy, but I don't know. I mean, I think I'd rather just find the money for obviously not like it's a real comparable, but I just play Pasternak and not Middlestad, and that's my lineup. Like I'm not getting
Makes
cute
sense.
with Boston. I think it's a great stack. Like maybe not as 14 game slate, like plenty of good options, but that's how I play Boston.
Yeah, it is 18K, 17.9. So with Pasta, Zaka, Arvidsson, makes sense. I think McAvoy's been priced up beyond what I'm interested in at 6,300. And then the third line, if we sense that Boston 2 gets steam, Boston 3 could be the cheap line du jour, 11.2K there. Florida continues to take hits injury wise. They showed up against Ottawa, full credit to them. They showed up and honestly controlled large swaths of that game, not only scoring, but I think the first period, not only did they win the period 5-0, but they outshot them like 15-4 or something crazy. The numbers there could be wrong. I'm not sure how many goals they actually scored, but it was pretty crazy. But in that game, they lost Aaron Ekblad to a hand injury, took a puck right off the hand. So, for all the tanking nonsense, I think that's a legitimate injury. They also lost Dmitry Kulikov, which like they have a guy named Mikolas Horvorka replacing him, which I mean, hey, if there's ever a time to make your NHL debut for the reigning Stanley Cup champions, now's the time, I guess. But congratulations to Mr. Horvorka there. Verhage, Bennett, Kachuk, though. I mean, Bennett returned. Turns out it wasn't injury or illness or tanking related. It was his wife had a baby. So welcome back to Sam Bennett. That line is 18.6K. And they have sterling underlying numbers and smashed last game. So I could see going to there in all honesty, but I don't think you need to. Like Boston, I think is a better team than Ottawa. That might get me crucified by the stats nerds, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Yeah. Not really interested in playing Florida, but I agree with everything you just said. The top line, we'll call it, has been good. That's really only thing of interest here on that side of the coin. Like it is 6.5. I mean, Boston feels like exploitable down the lineup, but they just for whatever reason aren't. I guess we're going to be on Mason Lohrei watch with his injury. It was not available for Tuesday. Could be out again. We didn't really see anybody emerge as like the clear cut guy. Like Hampus Lindholm played 20 minutes and with PP2, so I guess, but I just don't really see much of a need to pay 3,100 for Hampus Lindholm when he's done pretty much nothing all season long and continued to do nothing in that game. So, yeah, I'm good on probably this game in general.
Sure, that's fine.
Other than that Boston 3-man I said.
All right, Montreal heading to the Rangers. Montreal put the boots to Tampa. I mean, pretty convincing 2-1 with empty netters victory there. Slavkovsky, Suzuki, Caulfield were dominant once again. Their prices remain quite high, 21.5K for the 3-man stack there. Lane Hudson slid up the lineup without Alex Carrier, so let's get that updated. My caps lock turned on, which I guess I did not look at how many minutes he played, but I expect would mean good things for the time on ice for Lane Hudson and make him more viable as a result. Down the lineup, Newhook, Kapanen, Demidov, Anderson, Deneau, Gallagher, Bolduc, Evans, Texier. I mean, we've done this song and dance. They're all cheap. It is the Rangers, but I don't think I'm going there. Montreal on the road. It feels like top line or nothing. And like you mentioned, I think at the very beginning of the show, Montreal could garner some ownership, but I think these prices will keep people away. So I'm keeping an eye out. If they're going to be somehow the chalk of the night, I think you're better off with one of the other high-end teams between Edmonton and Minnesota, because I imagine that's where it cannibalizes from. But I guess we'll keep an eye on it and see what transpires. But any thoughts here?
Yeah. I think I might, if I'm playing it, just throw in Demidov and make it a 4-man, like 4,100. He's actually been shooting a little bit more and being maybe just a bit more involved in the power play as like the guy opposite of Cole Caulfield. It feels like there could be a spike game in there at some point for the guy, and like it's probably coming through the power play. So I'm keeping an eye out on the Ivan Demidov actually being a eye upside player situation that has not happened all year long. So yeah, I wouldn't hate the idea of going 4-man. If you're doing it, just like you're going to need to get cheaper. You might as well get cheaper with the team that you're completely relying on. You know, I mean, like they gotta be like 3 point, and like maybe that comes along the power play with another guy getting 2 points at 4,100. Okay. So
Hudson went from playing 15 minutes the game before last to 26 minutes against Tampa. So that's going to be great news for him as long as Alex Carrier is out. 5,100 Hudson, perfectly fine play with that in mind. I think it's Jack Eye.
Make it a 5-man.
Yeah.
It was Jack Eye Cooley as the bottom pair.
I mean, sometimes you just got to learn how to spell Arbor Jack Eye without looking it up.
It's pronounced
shout out to
Wi-Fi.
me. Okay. Rangers, their lines did not change in practice today. So Lafreniere is advantage at Perot, Cartier, Miller, Sherry, Cooley, Trocheck, Sikora, Brodzinski, Schmeller. There's a weird way to say that name that's much more local to his language that I'm not recalling right now. But and Noah Leba. I don't have any interest in the Rangers here. Like the top line would be of interest, but they, I think, have to run into the matchup, which sucks. With the top line of Montreal. So kind of a no-go for me. But Lafreniere, provincial revenge, question mark?
In theory. Yeah, my interest in the Rangers is 0. I want to say like, yeah, probably there's a bring back here, but I don't know who it would be. Sikora.
Hey.
I don't fucking know.
Green Bay. If he's calling to you, go with God.
Yeah, I'm not playing the Rangers.
Here we go.
Let's
Detroit heads into Philadelphia for what feels like the 7th consecutive loser go home match in the East. Yet somehow these teams are both still in it. Detroit
they're all
going Kane.
losers.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Kane, Cop, DeBrincat, Finney, Larkin, Raymond, JVR, Casper, Appleton, Perron, Comfort, Major. I'm not sure if that was the case last game, actually, the fourth line. But who really cares? Of note, Edvinson, Sider, Chirot, Falk. A lot of the chatter around Detroit is this Chirot Falk pairing. Very funny stuff when you look into their underlying stats since that trade. Um, Makes the matchups game a little bit more interesting because like you're completely fucked in one case and have the golden path to victory in the other. But I don't know how much that matters from the Detroit side of things. Alex DeBrincat's been incredible. He's easily the top play on this team. Anyone else feels pretty thin. Anything to layer on top of that?
No, I mean, it's it's kind of a mess. I expect probably to see changes after a 5-1 loss. It seemed like they did some changes on the fly in the game and tried anything that could work, and nothing works. Like the only thing that kind of works is DeBrincat, Kane, and Edvinson Sider, and they can't play all 60 minutes, and therefore other guys have to go onto the ice that are bad, and they get abused, taken advantage of all game long. And the Flyers just start playing good hockey, like up and down their lineup. I know last game the goaltending really got away with them. Dan Vladar just took a big stinky mud pie, unfortunately for them, and they got reverse goalied. He gave up 6 goals on an expected 2. That isn't going to win too many games. The Flyers are a good team. I really just don't have a lot of interest in Detroit here. Like, it's DeBrincat or nothing.
Sounds right. And like you said, we didn't have any practice or anything to base this off of. So lines are subject to change here more so than in other cases. Philadelphia, on the other hand, maybe the same hand, would expect them to tweak some things. Porter Martone came in, 14.7 expected fantasy points, a couple really nice looks in the low slot in front of the net. The power play looked completely lost with him out there. They used him on the flank. I don't really understand. They were like, hey, this guy's going to come in and be a net front presence in the NHL. And then Tocchet goes, oh, so he needs to replace Michkov and be a perimeter guy? Okay. And that's what they did. I don't see how that works. Tippett came off. I think it was Dvorak going net front. Or no, it was Cates. Noah Cates went on the power play.
Noah Cates.
Like
Konechny, Cates, Zegras, Risto, Martone. I really just feels like they. I don't. I can't even say words. Like I really can't. I do not understand how you could be this stupid. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Tippett is going supernova, and you're like, I have a plan. Like, what are you doing? Oh, Christ.
No idea. No idea. There's just aren't words sometimes. Like these coaches are so fucking bad at their jobs. It's unbelievable. Like there's nothing else. I can't add anything. Just it's a joke. Why they choose to kneecap themselves is beyond me. Yeah, Martone, Dvorak, Konechny. If you're playing Martone, I think you're probably playing Konechny. He's going to play 23 minutes, and he's not that expensive, so just probably pair those two together. Matchup is fine. It's not great. Again, you're trying to figure out who is going to be matched up with Chirot and Falk.
Well,
guess as good as mine.
Dvorak's going to be the shutdown line, so it's just a matter of whether what they view as a shutdown line, I guess. Like I would expect them to go against Sider and Edvinson and say whatever offensive guys you want to put out with those guys, have at it. But I guess we'll see. I mean, can't really trust Tocchet as far as you can throw him. I don't think they've done a heavy hard match this year, so I don't really have information to that effect at the very least as far as how they've been sort of trying to match up. But
it's just
Dallas game. Yeah, not anything too. Dallas, they very much got Dvorak out against Rantanen, Robertson, Johnston, but that was an obvious case. I'm not sure who at this point teams view as Detroit's first line between DeBrincat and Larkin being separated. So if
I
you
know
can
I
solve
do.
that, go with God. Good luck. It's a good angle, but I'm not sure how we can make that decision right now. Tippett coming off the top power play sucks, and so I'm just kind of out here.
Yeah, I think that's very fair, honestly, and I totally understand wanting to play Philly. They're very cheap and they've been good, and like we said, there's an angle to be had, but I think I probably end up off of it myself. Another
Free
game
me,
I'll probably be off of is Buffalo and Ottawa. I have a rule: I will not stack against Ottawa. Um, Not too hard to follow that rule. The Sabres spread the wealth throughout their entire lineup. There is obviously upside in Tage Thompson every single time he steps on the ice. That line was awesome. Quinn had the Quinn game, scores on the power play, has a bunch of shots, plays a bunch of minutes, looks really, really useful. He's probably too cheap. But I think it's Quinn one off for me or nothing. I don't really think there's anything here that I'm like sinking my teeth into as far as the Sabres are concerned.
Jack Quinn played minor hockey with the 67s. So
and sold. I will be playing one Jack Quinn. 7 shots on goal, power play goal. It really actually seemed like they were trying to feature him as the shooter on that unit, opposite of Tage as much as they could, and moving the puck kind of through those two to get opportunities. And he did score on the power play. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that play, but that's about it. I just don't stack
they are
against
still
Ottawa.
called the 67s. God, those home games must be a fucking nightmare.
They must be so funny. People making weird hand gestures and having a blast.
It's just full of fucking high school kids going TikTok. Ah! Oh my god.
Okay.
Jesus.
Didn't have to really do it.
We got to get out to Ottawa for a game now.
Are you playing Buffalo?
No, I've not been playing Buffalo.
Next.
And feels good. But I agree with Jack Quinn. Good play. Feels like we missed the train though. All right. On the Ottawa side, they got shit canned by Florida. Didn't see a practice from them. Most concerningly, we saw a pretty nasty looking injury from Yakimchuk. Someone caught him high, and it didn't really look that dirty, but it was certainly bad result. So I think he's in the protocol or something along those lines. If Jake Sanders is not good to go, I mean, we are right back in Jordan Spence 30 minutes territory. Now he's 4,200. Tyler Clevin, the guy who the projections are trying to jam in, he's 3,700. Both guys have been fine for the price tag, and the minutes are certainly going to be there. I don't really think that they're great fantasy plays, but they should get the power play time. I'm not sure if Lassie Thompson would get secondary power play time, though, over Clevin. But Spence power play 1. I'm guessing the forward lines remain the same because they've remained the same for like 2 months now. And I don't think one game would make them change it up, but we'll see. Feels too expensive, though. Brady or nothing. And like Brady Spence, like I don't really want to spend $12K on that.
No, they continue to be too expensive. It's not a great matchup. And I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird because like the defense is so banged up that they're just, I don't know what they can do, right? I mean, like they're out of options. Like they have 4 guys now that weren't really factors. I honestly, I think everybody but Zub has like been a scratch at least. Like I'm pretty sure Spence was scratched at early in the year. Like they're down to almost in like, and like, so I guess again, like back to the Sabres, like there's an angle to be had here. There's a thought process that you could utilize to play them, but like on Ottawa, I really don't know how you do it. Like none of these guys are great puck movers. None of them are going to be able to break the puck out very well. None of them are going to, give you the value you need to, I think, find the upside that you have to have in this just frankly too expensive team. So like, that's why I'm just kind of fully staying away from it. It's a 6.5. Like I kind of like betting the under right now too. Just it's just hard to do so when Florida just scored 6 because they could just be an absolute donkey fest at the end of the day. So I think I just sit it out and hope that
it was reported it was reported today that Jake Sanderson was doubtful for this game. So keep that in mind. But not ruled out, but doubtful. Pittsburgh. On a 2-game bender, heads into Tampa. Tampa without Brandon Hagel. At least Hagel was deemed doubtful. I don't know why they would do that, considering he played last game if he was going to play this one. So let's just rule Brandon Hagel out and go with their lineup. We'll get to in a moment. But Pittsburgh, last game, they got Evgeny Malkin back. They did warm-ups with weird-looking lines. And then they said, LOL, JK, we're not actually using those lines at all. And they smashed. So Chinikov, Sid, Raquel, Mantha, Novak, Malkin, Brazo, Kindle, and Avery Hayes, Dewar, Achari, Soderblom. Defense remains the same. Thoughts on this Pittsburgh alignment?
It's working. Mantha is Mantha-ing. I believe. Did you see the thing that was like? It was like a fake quote from Stuart Skinner saying that he's like the best player he's ever played with and scores big goals, and like Oilers fans thought that was for real, and it obviously wasn't.
It was if they had a player half as good as Anthony Mantha, he would have 2 cup rings, I think was the quote I saw.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Quote, and right now, how can you argue with it? That guy is on fire. Don't really have an issue playing the Penguins entirely. Crosby feels a little bit too expensive, but at some point, whatever.
Yeah, what the hell happened to Rust? Why did he disappear? He got hurt? Is that what it was, or was it something else? I guess you were at the hockey game, so you wouldn't know.
I guess he didn't, specifically look. He did not play. He was ruled out.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. His
lower body. Keep an eye out for that too, because that would obviously likely change this.
Yeah. I mean, Chinikov's still good. Crosby's good. Raquel's good. Mantha's good. Malkin's good. Carlson's good. They're all playing good. They're all getting priced up a smidge. Not maybe enough, but like, yeah, it's not a terrible matchup with no Hagel, but it's still Tampa. I mean, not going to be very owned. 6.5.
Mind you, Erik Karlsson is coming off of 2 games in which Pittsburgh scored 13 goals combined, which he has 0 points and something like, 10 total fantasy points. Over the past 10 hockey games, Erik Karlsson has 160 DraftKings points without counting the bonuses. I mean, he is on another planet right now. 5,900. It's a terrible matchup, but I don't know how you can look at that and say actually it's a bad play, because the underlyings are there. The team around him is cheap enough. Mantha 3,700, Chinikov 45, Raquel 51. If Raquel's on Sid's wing without Rust, I mean that's the ideal situation, I think, for playmaking on the wings. Chinikov, we know, is an offensive dynamo, so they're going to get all the zone starts and whatnot. Like, that just seems really solid. So, yeah, I mean, building on Erik Karlsson, obviously, but I kind of like Pittsburgh here. I haven't looked at the rainbow chart yet this podcast, so let's take a look at these first few games, see if anything should be added on to what we have said so far. Look at that. Dead even game looks pretty good, though, from a pace and goal standpoint. Pittsburgh and Tampa here. And moving up the board, nothing too surprising. I guess Boston, Florida looking really good by expected goals is a little surprising. But otherwise, Philly's fine. Ottawa, Buffalo, okay. But obvious issues that we've discussed lie there. Okay. Anything else on Pittsburgh before we head over to Tampa?
I think it's a better play than we're giving it credit for, but I find it very difficult to see myself playing this stack, and I think it's really just like feels like I'm buying high. Yeah, I'm Pittsburgh.
Okay, the team that I just said, I'm quite interested in them, but okay, got it.
I'm saying I'm agreeing. Like, I think they're better than I'm making it out to be.
Strangely. You phrased it strangely.
I'm phrasing it strangely because I don't do English well. I'm telling you, I think it's a really good play, and I'm probably not going to play it. That's what I'm saying. Just that is what's going to happen.
Thank you.
I'm going to look at it. I'm going to consider it. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to be a coward. It's going to win. Good for you.
Tampa practiced on Wednesday. So Tampa's lines: Gensel, Point, Kucherov; Gonsalves, Sorelli, Bjorkstrand; Holmberg, Gord, Gergensons; Perry, Paul, Sabarin. Uh, I would expect the shutdown line here to go out against Pittsburgh 1. Um, Point, Gensel, Kucherov to go out against the Malkin, Mantha, Novak line. So just some minor stuff there. And without Hagel, I imagine Bjorkstrand goes back to the top power play. He's been so bad that it's possible Sorelli or Corey Perry go on to the top unit, but still no signs of Victor Hedman. So 2,800 Charles Edward Destu remains very much in play as well. Any Tampa Bay thoughts?
I mean, this is I wonder if the Kucherov allure is wearing off or not. He has not smashed in 4 games. 4 games since we've last seen the 40 bomb from.
Is that
from
including
Kucherov.
the two he missed or no?
The what? Oh,
the two games he missed. Is that including that or
he had
no?
45 on the 21st. So it'd be we're looking at 11 days.
You're talking 6 Lightning games. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Has the allure worn off? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what I'm wondering here. And like, are people now thinking, ooh, the Penguins, on the other hand, now that's a team that I like you couldn't possibly stack against with the way they're playing. And like, I don't know, man. On the road in Tampa, going for that first. I know it's like maybe not. Maybe they don't care that much. Maybe they are taking their foot off the gas a little bit. But then again, Kucherov MVP, first place in the Eastern Conference up for grabs. Gensel, Point, Kucherov, affordable.
The Nikita Kucherov we know, I think, is largely attached to Sorelli, Hagel, Kucherov, and they are just so good this season together. For the podcast people, 3.8 expected goals per 60 and way outscoring that, 28 goals on 21 expected goals and 2.3 expected goals against, and only 8 goals against. So like they are outscoring 28-8 in 330 minutes with Sorelli, Hagel, Kucherov. You twist that over to Point and Gensel, and they're outscoring their opponents 13-10. Like, it's just not been the same. Obviously, part of that is earlier this year, Braden Point was objectively horrible. I mean, there's a reason he didn't make the Canada team. It wasn't injury, in my opinion. It was the fact that he was terrible. Maybe it had to do with the injury, but he was so bad that maybe as of late it's been better. But you can see here in 180 minutes, 2.9 expected goals per 60 and 2.5 against. Still fine. It's good. 13-10, it's good, but it's not like Kucherov levels. So I would temper expectations a good amount based on Kucherov's recent run of form. Like, maybe these guys get elevated as a result, but there is something special, I think, about Sorelli and Hagel versus these two that makes me not that interested in Tampa for 22K top line.
I'm more interested here than I think you are, and I think you're a little bit more interested in Pittsburgh. I think it's a really good game, and I think in reality, I think both sides are great for different reasons. But yeah, I'm planning on taking a good hard look at Tampa 1. I wouldn't mind bringing it back with Anthony Mantha or like a piece of like that as well, or Raquel, or we'll see if Rust is in or not. But it's a really intriguing game. Next game, I guess in theory, playoff implications, as Washington is like kind of quietly clawed their way back to like 4 or 5% chance of making the playoffs. They were very, very good last time out. Like I said, albeit very bad goaltending driven, but you gotta make that happen yourself. And scoring 6 goals is not something that you do easily. You got to score them, got to do it against NHL goaltending. It is a game against the Devils that I'm not really enticed by, but there just feels like there's pieces here that are interesting. Like Sortis playing big minutes, McMichael's playing big minutes, power play, top, kind of lines, and it feels like there's something here that you could maybe stick your head out and say, oh boy, 2,900 Sortis, like playing 20 something minutes, playing with like, I guess NHL quality, like interesting NHL players. McMichael 3,600. We know what McMichael can be. Like, there's something here. I just don't know if it's cohesive enough for me to say like it's obviously this.
Yep, McMichael's been very good. Last game, the power play unit that scored twice was sort of what I was deeming the second unit. They were the second unit in this game, but I think given the way that it goes with Ovi, that's just going to switch and they're going to rotate to these guys being the first over the boards: Ovi, PLD, Wilson, Chikrin, Leonard, meaning Strom, McMichael, Hudson, are sort of the secondary power play guys. That screams to me this is a Tom Wilson game, if anything. Ovi, of course, 5,800. You know, you can't defeat Ovi, but the minutes are a problem. Like, you're just not getting 20 minutes from Ovi. Versus you are getting that from Tom Wilson almost every night, and he's almost 1,000 cheaper. So I like both. I don't see myself going to this game though. Washington at New Jersey, it just feels a little gross. Let's take a quick peek
gross,
at the rainbow sheet. Nope, that's not
it
the
is
right
a little
tab.
bit gross, so I could not.
Yeah, Washington not looking great. On the other hand, let's talk about New Jersey, who I'm sure people are going to get right this time after they were somewhat chalky on Tuesday to I think I'm seeing here great success. Is that the case?
Great success. Yeah, it was great success. One of my favorite stacks of the night. Everything went their way other than oh wait, it says here they did horrendous and actually failed miserably. Shit. Brat Hughes, Connor Brown, all the minutes, power play one. Luke Hughes, power play one. I think he did have an assist in the game. If that makes anyone feel better at home. He did get a price hike, of course, from 4K to 4,600. Just a swift, probably honestly correct adjustment, but nevertheless, yeah, it's intriguing. It's interesting. It's New Jersey against Washington. I like the Devils again. I really do, though. It's just the messed up, broken part of my brain that's just like, Washington kind of sucks, and New Jersey's underlying numbers look good. I don't have to do it, and I probably won't do it. I'm just saying, like, it's not that bad. It's not that gross.
If you are riding the Hughes Brat Brown line, you may stay on board. It is 19K on the nose. You're getting 36 expected DK points and 39 actual over the last 10 games. That's fine. But this team can't score. I'm telling you, they can't score. Like, sometimes they will score, but they should not be chalky on any DFS slate, let alone on the road against Igor Shesterkin. And guess what? They were. They're going to be chalk again here because somehow the projection on Connor Brown is 4 points higher than any other player at the 4K range, and I have no clue why. Just stop it, everyone. Stop it.
Good
Winnipeg. They really sucked out against Chicago. Absolute,
Chicago.
just deplorable third period from them. Got outshot 10-2. And then Kyle Connor in overtime was like, actually, guys, I got you. We're going to get these 2 points. And they desperately need them. Pretty much any loss ends their season. And, well, they're on the road in Dallas. So I'm going to say no thank you. But, obligatory mention, Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele are the engines here. They are rather cheap relative to, the minutes and the role they have. It's just a matter of, can this team score?
Yeah, I think they're honestly the DJ sneaky stack of the night. I don't feel great about it, but it feels like a sneaky stack. Like, they just burned a lot of people. They hit their goal. They had 2.4 expected goals against the Chicago team, as we mentioned, is like pretty banged up. Defensively, Chicago feels like a nightmare. They feel like they should be more fun. They feel like this, that, the other thing. Well, the problem here is that Winnipeg has absolutely no depth. Their fourth line barely plays, although, Isaac Rosen did score because he's not bad at hockey, but that's, beside the point. The top line is going to see as much run as possible. It had 2 goals for and 3 goals against, I guess, if you include that overtime goal, which I am in this scenario. They're running 4 defensemen: DeMello, Morrissey, Sandberg, and Pionk. The other 2, Bryson and Salamonson, are just not really seeing much run. So you're going to get a very, very large concentration of minutes and an even, I think, more condensed opportunity and offensive run for very specific players. who are going to go against a Dallas team with nothing really to play for. So like you're just kind of maybe talking yourself a bit more into a narrative, but Dallas has been leaky defensively. I'm not sure if the last 10 games support that as much as sort of the actuals of like some of these results. You know, they didn't look great against the Flyers. I mean, they did. It was an overtime game where kind of a Sunday, whatever sort of situation where things just were a little bit.
The matchup is neutral by expected goals, actual goals, and yeah, that's can't
not a
take
great
that
game
away
environment.
From you.
I think I'm really only interested in the Winnipeg side of this situation for all the reasons I'm kind of saying. It's like you just don't get much more concentrated than this, in my opinion. But yeah, really not a whole lot else to see here other than like top line, Morrissey, Pionk, moving on.
So Dallas returns home. That could mean that all these guys that have been out of lineup, Hintz, Steele, Bunting, like, quote, end of the road trip could be the name there. I don't think any of these guys will be back though. Like I'm pretty sure the commentary's been like, we'd be lucky if they're back by the playoffs. So like I'm pretty sure what we see here is what we're going to get lineup wise. But they did just get shellacked by Boston. So like if there's a change to be made, they're going to make it here. And of course, keep an eye out for, line arrangements and whatnot changing. Because, J-Rob, Johnston, Rantanen, of course, would be much different than Ben, Johnston, Rantanen, and Robertson, Duchesne, Bourque. I think I agree with you, though. I'm not really interested in this game or this spot. On the Dallas side specifically, I know you were talking about Winnipeg. Harley, 4,800. I think that's just too expensive relative. There's some options here. I think I already talked about Shane Gostisbehere, 4,900. Just feels significantly better. Better spot, etc. And I don't need to spend up on these Dallas Stars. But I'm also saying that from the perspective of Jason Robertson's on both of my best puck teams. And so if he goes, I will be happy regardless. But yeah, the Rainbow Sheet does not like this game whatsoever.
Good mental hedge. We were kind of besmirching the good name of Vancouver before, but here we are live. They are up 6-3.
Scores what?
I guess you didn't know that.
It's a second period.
It is 6-3 as we near the end of the second period, and like then you might be thinking, well, they must be. It's only 19-13 in shots in favor of Vancouver, so it's not like, they probably shouldn't have 6 goals, but yeah,
they should also not be
the best team in the world.
So
yeah, taking the best team in the world out to the out behind the shed. Regardless, they will be going on a road back-to-back from Colorado to Minnesota to take on another world beater in the Wild. Not a great matchup. The Wild going to be a bit rested. They haven't played since
ever.
I think Saturday.
I don't think they've played in 6 weeks. Is that right?
It's been about 6 weeks. The Wild, as we've mentioned, are they silent tanking? Are they this? Are they that? They lost 6-3 to Boston. I think Boston scores 6 goals every single night now. That's just sort of what they do. And they played Quinn Hughes 31 minutes, Faber 27 minutes, Boldy, Eriksson, Kaprizov, Zuccarello all around 20 minutes. So it's not like these guys aren't seeing run as we go down the stretch here and try to cement, I guess, playing Dallas in the first round. It feels like, although maybe you want to play Colorado with this performance tonight.
Yeah, sneak Zeev Buoyant back on the plane and see if he can use that magic against Colorado.
Yeah, pretty much a foregone conclusion. Like the Mammoth are 12 points back of them, so they have nothing to play for. But like I said, they're still playing the top guys. The Vancouver side, we'll start with revenge narratives out the wazoo. Marco Rossi, of course. What's his name? The defenseman.
Zeev
Buoyant. There he is. But is there any interest in the biggest name, of course, Liam Ogren?
Yeah, no.
No.
I think Vancouver used all the goals they're going to score this month on the first day. So yeah, no, thank you.
Tough break.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, sometimes shit happens. Linus Carlson moved back down the lineup, so like, there's nothing there either that I could say, oh, good rates player, blah blah blah, bigger role. Like there's just like Jake DeBrusk is the closest ththing to that, but he's already 3,800. If
Yep.
you're in a pinch, you need a one off. That's the only player I would say, yeah, don't go looking elsewhere if you absolutely, uh, you know, have the option to. He's okay playing alongside Pedersen and Ogren and on the top power play. Let's talk about the Minnesota side, though. They practiced, I think, 74 times since their most recent game. So feel pretty
Yep.
confident. Kaprizov, Hartman, Zuccarello, Johansson, Eriksson, Boldy, Brink, Yurov, Tarasenko, Trennan, McCarron, Marcus Foligno is what we're going to see. As you mentioned, highly concentrated top unit defensively with Quinn Hughes and Brock Faber. Those prices are fairly high. But yeah, this place against a Vancouver team exiting elevation, absolute goldmine of a spot fantasy wise. Can these Minnesota forwards figure out how to turn expected fantasy points into actual fantasy points against Mr. Tilopilo in that?
Yeah, I mean, what is this? The fucking New Jersey Devils? What's going on with these Wilds right now? Just not getting to their very clear ceilings. I mean, I made the joke about Kaprizov, like what is his ceiling? Like, whatever, a few slates ago, and it's like, man, still not punishing me strongly enough for saying something so stupid. I was like, he hasn't had a 40 since January. Uh, you're gonna, it's kind of what you're looking for on a 14 game slate. I would probably just play the full 5-man if you're doing it. Like you said, it's sort of like this perfect storm of a game, and I think they'll get owned. And I think people will split some of the ownership down the middle. I'm not going to say with any very strong thought of which line I like more. I say fuck it. Kaprizov, Zuccarello, Eriksson, Boldy, Quinn Hughes. You're probably having to leave someone off of this train. Yeah, leave Zuccarello off of it. Who cares? Play Jack Quinn instead. If you need a few $100.
Let's see. I'm looking at this top line: Kaprizov, Hartman, Zuccarello.
Yeah,
Hartman's numbers obviously pretty crazy over the
really
last
good.
10. I'm looking at the last 3 games because that includes Eriksson Ek being back in the fold. So I just want to see what that comparison is to see if that's sort of sustained. Yeah, 3 games since Eriksson Ek's been back. 12.8 expected fantasy points, 13.9 actual for Ryan Hartman, almost 6 attempts per game. I think that's what I would do here. Top line for me personally. Again, Kaprizov, Hartman, Zuccarello, that top line, 18.4K just feels way too cheap for the top line on the top team total against Vancouver. And I feel like people will try to mix in Kaprizov, Boldy, Hughes type power play builds. And this sort of allows you a bit more of a mid tier, 2 premium stacks versus just the one and trying to fill in around it. So Ryan Hartman, the key to success on Thursday. Nothing says it's baseball season quite like that. All right. Chicago at Edmonton. Chicago, they switched their lines up in the third period there. So let me just pull those up. Because, like I said, they played a very, very strong third period against Winnipeg. Ultimately tied the game, got to overtime. Or maybe
Yep.
Bedard just double shifted. Let me take a closer look
I
here.
mean,
Any thoughts
yeah,
on
like,
Chicago?
well, I really want to be the put
Oh,
my
okay.
put it down on Frank Nazar is back. Um, he's played really really well as of late. I don't like the line a ton. Like as a Ryan Donato stan, we've kind of reached peak levels of oh boy, he's just really not doing anything. And Burakovsky has not done anything all season, so tough break for Nazar, who seemingly is doing everything. I I have no problem playing Bedard and Nazar together. I've mentioned it before, but taking up both your center spots, especially in a game that it feels like you're probably going to bring it back with McDavid, and then there goes your flex spot as well. It was a bit tricky, but I think it's kind of a unique and fun way of doing things on this slate. That's, I guess, my interest. And, the next guy up on Chicago after Bedard and Nazar is Frondell, who you want to play. He's also a center. They're just kind of all centers, oops, all centers with like some pieces around it that are not interesting at all, other than like maybe Bertuzzi, but I don't even know how interested I am in him. So it's tough to stack. Feels like there's a lot of one-offs here. Are there any one-offs that you like more than the others?
No, not really. I don't know. I watched the Edmonton Seattle game quite closely and was like, oh, these aren't the Edmonton Oilers I remember. So I don't know. Maybe McDavid saying, "Hey, we used to have a coach who coached us things, did something," because they look good by my eye. Though also that was the Seattle Kraken. I just don't think Chicago is going to be the team that breaks it wide open here. We're talking about a relatively expensive Bedard, so there's some mid-tier stacks that I like about the same as mixing Bedard with his cheap line mates. One-offs wise, you can take bet on talent. Anton Frundell, still 3,700. I'm not. Do you have his what's his shot attempts per game over his, I guess now career in the NHL? I would need to
hold on. I have it
load it.
10.
Yeah.
Rondell is 5 attempts per game over 5 games.
Perfect. Very good. We like that. 3,700. There's your one-off if you need it. And probably better than Jake DeBrusk for a similar salary if I had to venture.
Yeah. No, it's a good play. I mean, I think Bartone will be even piled on more than him. So, it's sort of the that meme where it's like, I don't want to play with you anymore, Frendell. That was like the flavor of last week. We're on to Porter Martone now, and it's like probably about the same.
I think Frendell's significantly better than Porter Martone. Just throwing that out there.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying I think that the field will.
Okay.
In a matchup they might like more, but yeah, we can move over to Edmonton. McDavid
they practiced.
McDavid.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go.
I don't know. They practiced Savoy, McDavid, Podkolzin, Roslovic, RNH, Hyman, Hyman maintenance day, so Hyman second line there. Trent Frederick back in the lineup with Dickinson and Kapanen, Max Jones, Henrique Lazar. Defensively, Eklund, Bouchard, Nurse Murphy, Wallman, Emberson. Status quo, no Draisaitl, etc. But like I said, they've been playing quite well. Podkolzin's been okay on the top line. Savoy's been pretty good. 4,300 on DK, 8.6 fantasy points per game. That's a 2xer right there, the number you look for. So you can play it with McDavid if you want. Has Savoy stuck on the top power play since Draisaitl went out? I haven't been tracking that closely. But any Edmonton thoughts from you?
Last game, top power play. Bouchard, Hyman, Savoy. He looked like he swapped pretty quickly-ish for Podkolzin. So, those two maybe splitting the role a bit more, and, the other guys just stay out there the whole time. Obviously, Nugent McDavid closed that out. So, yes, Savoy also kills penalties. I mean, his role is cemented. I don't think it's a concern of how much he's going to play. It just, we're kind of getting to a price. 4,300 is not insane, but it's
yeah, you need to think, is he good? Is he good for fantasy?
Is he
specifically?
Good? Exactly.
He could be Colin Graff, and no matter what the role is, he's not 4,300 worth, or he could be something more. Mitch Marner-esque, if you will.
If the score up is correct, Mikhail Granlund has 1 shot on goal now. I report. If the score up is correct, he has 1 shot on goal now.
All right, keep us updated. Thank you for the alert.
I have to. I like Edmonton on this slate just fine. Again, there's 14 games. I don't think they're going to be unbelievably shocky by any stretch of the imagination. And I really don't hate the idea of playing Bouchard and McDavid. I really don't. So there's that for those at home that want to consider playing it.
I'm glad you don't hate it. I would hate to make you do something you don't want to do. Okay.
Oh my God! What a play by Granlund too. Okay, good. It's definitely a shot on goal.
My God,
he almost scored.
Literally watching to verify the shot.
I had to double check. I didn't want to lie to the people, because what if they listen back to this and they go, "Did he really only have 1 shot on goal in the whole game?" And DJ called it out.
I hope that charity you mentioned listens to this and goes, "Actually, we're refunding all this money. You people are degenerates." All right, Utah heads into Seattle. we haven't seen Utah in a while either, right? Yeah, it's been
I think they were Sunday.
that LA
Were they
game.
Sunday?
Yeah, it's been Saturday, that LA
Oh,
game where they
I
smoked
don't know.
them.
Huh? Yeah,
Um, so I guess I
yeah.
haven't seen lines or a practice from them, or at least a scraper didn't pick it up. So we could
Yeah,
have more
was
information.
Barrett Hayton like? Yeah,
Yeah, he got hurt.
what was a
So
Hayton situation? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
he
but how
was
long?
hurt.
Do we know? Week to
That's
week.
what you should
Okay.
be looking at while I talk. Um,
Week to week.
or would you like to talk and have me look into it? Because I'm just updating it
Nope, I
based on
looked into
last
it.
game.
He's week to week. He is week to week.
Thank
He's
you.
not going to
Thank
play.
you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Good work. Good work, everybody. Daniil Boot got called up, but apparently Kylie Yamamoto went into the lineup in his place last game. So I'm guessing that's that about that. JJ Paterka, he's a JJ, no dots, of course. Obviously, everyone knows
Yeah.
that. And then bottom line, who gives a crap? These top guys are the story. Keller, Schmaltz, Kraus, Yamamoto, Cooley, Gunther. Yamamoto sucks, but Cooley, Gunther, power play 1. Keller, Schmaltz, power play 1. Kraus is somewhat useful. Do you have a preference there between top or second line, or are you not interested in this matchup on the road in Seattle?
I mean, I'm not that interested in this in general. I think it's fine. I mean, what I'm playing is certainly Cooley and Gunther, like no doubt in my mind about it. Like I think Cooley is legitimately good for 4,300, and I think Savoy is a bit worse than him. I think, Frondell is a great play as well, though, for a little bit cheaper. So like, am I one-offing Cooley? Never, right? I'm always playing it with Dylan Gunther. So is that something that's going to eat up two of my wing positions? Maybe. I'm not going to say no right now, but I'm also thinking when the cards turn over, I don't end up going here because I continue to just think that, like, again, Seattle isn't good. They haven't even really shown all that much to make me say they're good defensively at all. I just think that they're not a team that like gives up massive fantasy output, and I'd have to look into that deeper and avoid any Kucherovs in that assessment. But I just don't really stack against them often, and it hasn't cost me too much unless it was Nikita Kucherov.
Okay. Do you have your running shoes ready to go? Because speaking of Russians who played in Tampa, Mikhail Sergachev's last 2 games, 7 assists. He has a 4 assist game with 3 blocks and a shot, and a 3 assist game with 4 blocks and 2 shots. So back to back, 30 bombs for Mr. Sergachev, 5,400. Yeah, you can chase those points if you wish. He's fine.
Yeah, no problem there. I mean, there's really not a lot of depth here that is interesting at all because they, you said like go the fourth line, but like Paterka, McBain, and Carconi are also like kind of a fourth line. It feels like both of those lines just see significantly less run than the top two. And
they
the power
use
plays are pretty
Stenlund.
really, yeah.
They love Stenlund taking face off, so that's why that serves as like a quasi
Exactly.
third line. And I agree with you that like as much as I want to love it, you just can't really find the time on ice. All right.
Seattle. I want to ask you one question. Berkeley Catton, 17 minutes last game. How much of that run came on the power play?
I guess he didn't get the power play time.
Yep.
Because McCann
not on either unit. Led them in
Jaden
5-on-5.
Schwartz and Eli Tolvanen. Yes, that would be what you do. Okay.
That's what you do. They did not score. They also, I believe, went to McCann, Beniers, Eberle, Catton, Molgard, Schwartz at some point.
Yep, third period. I was watching it like a hawk, baby. Had my
I don't know
Jordan
what Seattle's
going to
do. I know.
I mean, we know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to.
I don't know what they're going to do, and I don't know if it matters. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We know what they're going to do. They're going to roll out Chandler Stevenson for 22 minutes, and they're going to lose, and then we go, well, whose fault is it? Clearly, it's Shane Wright's fault. I think they're now saying he's hurt, so it'll still somehow be his fault. Oscar Fisker Molgard, just another dude who could be a dude. Doesn't matter. 10 minutes to the bench with you. Jaden Schwartz came back, didn't do anything, but Yeah, Berkeley Cat and 2,500 still doing nothing. Great. Nothing to see here. If anything, it's the top line 12.3K for McCann, Beniers, Eberle. But, less than 20 DK points per game for this trio over the last 10. And the expecteds aren't much better at just 24. 2x, 12K, 24, but certainly not great. Alrighty. The last couple games, we have Toronto. Oh, Jesus Christ, 3 more games. Toronto at San Jose. Toronto practice today. Cowan, Tavares, Nylander, Nyes, Bogru, Michelli, Nick Robertson, Domi, Dakota Joshua. Who cares about the fourth line? Morgan Riley, Noel, both healthy. Who knows who the power play guy is there? Not I. And Tavares and Nylander coming off of single-handedly ruining their lottery odds against Anaheim. In the revenge game of the century, that actually was just a normal hockey game that, for some reason, Michael Pezzetta got kicked out of for punching an official because he's really smart. Anyway, thoughts on Toronto?
I mean, if you're playing it, it's not difficult to know where you're going. The top line was fully power play correlated. It played a lot of run against Anaheim. Nylander played 24 minutes, Tavares 21, and Cowan 19. Of course, as you mentioned, Zeta got kicked out of the game. Domi only played 7 minutes, so I assume there was problems with him staying out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, kicked, right. So maybe not quite as much run to go around, but like it's not unplayably expensive. It's not a matchup that is like scary against. I mean, the Sharks sound scary. I know the Sharks are scary animals, but like back to back against the Sharks, this feels like the Tuttle's terrible take of the night of like they're not a bad play ? But I'll send it to you. Are they not a bad play ?
That sounds right. I would love to see Easton Cowan do something before I just say he's not just fancy Berkeley Catton, though. Last game, he showed some signs, 15.8. So that's a positive. But I'm not totally sold that I want to spend 17K for this trio of Cowan, Tavares, Nylander. I think there's better 18K lines out there. If they were a little bit cheaper, then for sure I would be sort of selling it. But if you want to bet against Macklin Celebrini, here's your chance. That's what I will say to you. I just don't think there's a defenseman you can stack with him that you can trust. And then at that point, like why do it? There's several other stacks that I like either the same or better that I do think come with a really good defenseman play.
Morgan Riley had his spike game last time out with a 19. And you're going to sit here and say...
Oh, damn. That's tough. Yep. There's pie on my face. Egg on my face. Pie on my face.
You can have both on your face.
There's both on my face. Yes. Morgan Riley does that to a guy.
Egg pie on your face. Yeah, Morgan Riley, dead, ? Exclamation point. Team is bad, and they play against another team that is...
the best team in the world.
Point total, but the best team in the world. So what are your thoughts on... Yeah, let's actually look at this quickly before I really give the stone cold facts. Toronto has 77 points and San Jose has 75. So yes, San Jose has 3 games in hand. Fine.
Okay, I was about to say that's made up. There's no, but yeah, okay, they have a slightly better points percentage. Okay,
I'm just saying. The sky is falling, and there is not a cloud in sight.
You are not wrong.
So yeah,
well, you see, DJ, they just didn't see the train coming in the Buffalo Sabres because, without the Buffalo Sabres, they would still be, not making the playoffs. But anyway.
I mean, was it on Puck Soup that they said like Borsovsky is like actually should be in consideration for Coach of the Year? And they're like, I mean, again, I'm not saying they're even wrong for saying such things, like completely, but it's like we're talking about it. I don't know. There's just at some point with the San Jose stuff, and like we cannot say enough good things about Macklin Celebrini. We have to. We continue to. I did not. I was certainly not all aboard the train at the beginning of the year. There's a lot of good things to be said. Should they be minus 120 on a back-to-back against Toronto. Probably. That being
Sounds
said,
fine.
Toronto has a deep
Yeah.
team. I don't know. All of a sudden, I'm
Fuck
kind of just
this.
thinking like Toronto.
You know what? Here, fuck this game.
Okay.
San Jose back to
Yeah.
back. Okay, like
Yeah,
they're sleepy.
You know,
They're sleepy
they've
boys.
been that bad defensively. What does the game look like on the 10 gamer? Let's look at the rainbow sheet.
Here, the
I feel
rainbow.
like this game is
The
not gonna look
rainbow.
that good.
Answer some questions for us, Mr. Rainbow.
Bad.
Ugh.
Good for San Jose. But
How is San Jose doing
Toronto's
well
giving up.
defensively? I think
That's what
there's
I'm
some San
saying. Good defensively.
I think there's some St. Louis shenanigans afoot here, where San
Yeah.
Jose went into the St. Louis game and they played a fucking snoozer, and there you go. So I don't know. Well, we'll see. It's not for me. Without Chernyshov, especially, like that's sort of like where I would be like, okay, you know, Chernyshov, Celebrini, Smith, book it easy. But Graf, Celebrini, Smith doesn't have the same ring. It's 18K, you know, again, in that range. You look at the production, 30 expected DK points, 28 actual, and they're 18K. Like, that's just not good enough. Down the lineup, there's nothing to like. You know, Wenberg's a worse version of Mikael Granlund. He's, you know, maybe a bit better. Chandler Stevenson, neither of those two should bring happy feelings to you. And then Toffoli Misa, they lose Eklund and they have to play with Tidal Andrea. So just not a lot of fun there. Sam Dickinson, though, continues to do well. I don't think he's doing anything on whatever night it is, though.
Why do they think he had? No, never mind. I thought he had 2 blocks. He only has 1 block.
You know, the distinction there would not change my sentiment toward him. But he's been fine over the last stretch.
Every block shot he gets for the rest of the time we're on here.
Well, if you were mentioning every Mikael Granlund shot, it's going about exactly as I expected. All right.
Yeah, perfect.
Calgary and Vegas, this game absolutely sucks. I mean, my God. The Vancouver-Vegas game was about 25 minutes of the worst hockey I've seen this season. Vegas turned it around a bit in the third period and late second.
Yeah.
But holy fuck, man. Like, I don't know. I'm not playing Calgary on the road in Vegas. I'm surely not playing Vegas. But any thoughts on Calgary before I toggle over?
Completely unplayable. I don't think there's anything here that you could even try to convince me to play. They're a dumpster fire, and the only interest here is Vegas. Yeah, I got nothing but bad things to say. And like, not that they're too expensive by any stretch, but like, you know, Frost, Coronado, Greedon is like the only option, and it has come up in price a little bit. So like, what are we really doing?
Correct.
No thanks.
Yep. Now it's a 12K line. It's in the Boston range. Like, yeah, we're not we're not that desperate.
You're just not clicking it. Yeah. If you're that desperate, call the line. Let's move over to Vegas. Like,
new lines for Vegas.
Yeah. Go first. Sorry.
Yep. Howden, Eichel, Dorofeyev, Barbashev, Marner, Stone, Smith, Hurdle, Sissons, Riley Smith. That is Cole Smith, Nick Dowd, Keegan Colasar. D pairs remain the same. Hannafin with Anderson, McNabb with Theodore. All right. Whatever your take is here, let us have it.
I mean, first and foremost, you sent me a very funny text earlier today.
Oh no, what did I do?
What is the big player? Well, who is the big player? I suppose could be another way of looking at it. That is no longer in this lineup.
Oh, that's right. Braden Bowman got sent down. Let's go. We're so back.
Sports experience off to quite the start.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it's Eichel, Dorofeyev or nothing here. What are we even talking about? I know I put Stone on the cover. I just sometimes you got to put someone on the cover. Yeah, Eichel, Dorofeyev, or nothing. I mean,
they got way priced up.
Good. I don't care.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
I think it's a good play. I'm not going to apologize. Eichel's playing 1 million minutes. He's shooting 1 million pucks. Dorofeyev shoots nonstop. They're definitely incredibly correlated for success on the power play. Like, that's who it flows through. I know Stone could still be involved in that. I just don't care. Like, it's a good play. And I have no problem going to it. I would pair it with probably Theodore too if you want. Just taking a peek at what they did last game at home. It was mainly Theodore with Eichel and Stone, so I expect Theodore to stick with Eichel. Yeah, no problem with that 3-man. The Flames absolutely stink. They're completely dead. They came out and looked just horrific in their last game. And I really don't think Vegas is going to be very popular. Like you said, it's expensive. They have not performed up to their expectation. I mean, these are the spots I like to jump on. Like, it's not going to be owned. And if they actually get to what is a very clear ceiling that they're almost producing towards, like, you're just going to be sitting here winning all the money. So I'm pretty interested in Vegas. And you're not, though I like it more now.
I wish you luck with your Vegas, New Jersey stacks. Nashville at Los Angeles. It is no longer Brady Shea's birthday. Get out of here. Stamkos, O'Reilly, Evangelista, Marchessault, Wood, Forsberg, Schaefer, Howlett, LaRue. I didn't even see a practice or anything, so this could all be completely wrong. I don't care. I'm not playing this game. Nashville at LA on a back-to-back for LA is just about the worst possible combination, and Nashville doesn't do us any favors with pricing. Stamkos, O'Reilly, Evangelista, for example, is almost 16K. For what is about 26 expected points and just 22 actual. Forsberg's been good, but he's up at 7,500, and Yossi's 7,200 and hasn't been good. So there's just nothing here. I
will be fading this game entirely.
Wonderful.
No interest on either side. Too expensive on the Nashville side. I think it's equally too expensive, to be honest, on the LA side. Like, it's not very. Like, the only, again, LA too has played great. And once again, Trevor Moore is shooting. Byfield is starting to shoot down the stretch. Like, I don't think I'm playing it against Nashville. But I would say, like, of all of the cheaper-ish stacks, it's not the worst.
LA 2 has been very good. That's unassailable. 34 expected DK points over the last 10, 29 actual. That line just costs you 13K. So the only downside is only one of Byfield or LaFerriere will be the top power play. Kempe seems healthy. Yeah. He's back. He scored. He hasn't been shooting at all, so I'm not sure what the injury is, but it seems potentially related. But again, he scored a power play goal, I think, as we're recording this, and has 4 shots on goal. So whatever was ailing him, their long break could have helped. Basically, there's just been no changes made here. So it's what is the case will be the case. And that means Panarin, Kempe, Clark are fine, but they're a bit priced up. The line one with Kopitar is 18.5K. Brant Clark is 5,800. You get a nice blocks and point potential with Brant Clark, but
another blocks bonus for Clark in the second after the second period. Like,
this is Erik Karlsson money, we're talking Swedish Jesus, and Brant Clark is neither Swedish nor Jesus.
Yeah, it's a tough click. If you're stacking LA, like, you're stacking Clark though. Like, Clark is double bonus 2-point like type. Like, I mean, again, I think his upside is undeniable. So, like, you could play it, but I'm not going to. No worries.
We did it.
14
games. Long day of streaming for me. I've spent almost 3 hours on air talking. So yeah, I feel rather low energy. What about some stacks and goals to get us out of here?
Last time out, you had Dallas 1, Washington 1. Not too bad. I had Winnipeg 1, New Jersey 1. Could have gone better. I had Lardis, Brady Tkachuk. You had Eberle, Suzuki.
Suzuki scored.
Yes. Lardis did not. No. No more Granlund shots. Thank you for asking. He's going to be down to 1 after the second period. Could use a second for a little bit of money. Let's pray. I'll say a prayer.
Oh boy.
I'll let you go first if you'd like on top stacks. There's a lot of options. There's plenty that I like myself, so I can't imagine you steal my thunder entirely.
Minnesota 1. Kaprizov, Hartman, Zuccarello. Just too cheap. The expecteds are there. I talked about some of the stacking that I think the field will be doing, so just give me the top line, the 5-on-5 stack, and have at it. Go Ryan Hartman. Ryan Hartman night, everyone. Let's go. Feel the buzz.
I'm going to do the Vegas one. I really think when the cards turn over, that's going to be, I'm going to have like Lindor 5. And I know you don't like it. I know it's not your favorite.
What are you playing it with if you're making it a 3-man?
Theodore.
Okay.
I'm not playing Brett Howden. I mean, it's either Theodore or I'm just going to play Stone for the power play.
Yeah. I just want to check the power play. I want to make sure they didn't do anything weird. Yeah, okay, they didn't score. So I thought I remembered Anderson's goal being on the power play, but I guess not.
No,
nope,
but
not even close. So whatever.
No.
5 forward power play stock. Yeah, all good in the hood.
It did.
Okay, have fun. You deserve a Vegas victory at some point, and so
they're not New Jersey West. They're not. Neither is Minnesota.
Well,
these are teams that are notoriously scoring a lot of goals right now. One of them has to do it. So play all 3 of them, make 3 lineups, play all 3 of them, and one of them will surely not disappoint.
All right. It is up to me. I'm looking for a cheaper-ish stack.
Why do I feel like you're going to say Pittsburgh?
I'm going to go with Boston 2.
Yep. All right.
DJ's cover boy, Pavel Zacha. Mix it in with Victor Arvidsson. I kind of like Hampus Lindholm with that. I know he's not been good. I know you sort of poo-pooed it, and I get it. He's not been very good. But 3,100 if Fleury's still out, I think is totally fine for a guy who has been better this year than in the past, even if the last stretch has not been very good. I think I like that better than Middlestat for the same price, and I don't think I'll be playing Pasta with it, though obviously you can. It's a good play with Pasternak. But I'll probably be using my money on, Kaprizov at that salary and don't have the 2 slots for him more than likely.
I think that's very, very fair.
Thank you.
I'm wavering. I think I'm going to be brave here, and I'm going to say, no, never mind. I'm not going to say that. I will go. I was going to say Philly, but then I remember the Owen Tippett problem, and I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely not going to do that. So you know what? It's so hard to find a cheaper stack that I like. I really want to say something that's like not that cheap, and I know I can't afford it. So give me. I'll do the Pittsburgh thing. You know what? Give me Malkin, give me Mantha, give me Carlson.
Okay. 5,800 Malkin, 5,900 Carlson, 3,700 Mantha. Does that fit? Does that fit with your Vegas stuff? I think it does.
Probably does, but it's close. Yeah. I don't know. I'd rather play Winnipeg, but I don't want to do Winnipeg again.
I thought you were clicking it in, but I'll lead off my guaranteed goal because you did not tread on my toes somehow. I'm going Rickard Rakell, 5,100 guaranteed goal. Power play 1, playing with Sid. He's no longer at center. Let's just, obviously Brian Rust returning could change that, but I think I feel pretty good about that. And again, the Tampa spot without Hagel, it's just so much better. They're way better with Hagel than without him, of course. And I think that's a huge deal for, a guy like Raquel who can get there at 5-on-5 or the power play. And we haven't seen him much with Sid and Chinikov. So very curious to see how that goes.
That's pretty brave of you. I can't lie.
Thank you. Very brave.
I think I'm going to go high-low again, and I am going to take DeBrincat and see what I can afford.
Alex DeBrincat on the road in Philly.
Yep.
I have 5,900 left. I'm going to use 54 of it and take Nick Ehlers for Carolina here. My favorite Carolina forward, guaranteed goal, Nikolai Ehlers.
I'm dumpster diving as we speak for 3,100.
You have 3,100.
There's got to be someone down here that doesn't absolutely suck, right?
E2
Oh, sort of.
Luosterainen.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of. Okay.
What do you think? You don't like sort of?
I,
You're not a sort of guy anymore?
I played him. I played him last sleep. I'll tell you what I got. Not a lot of fantasy points.
A lot of ice time, not a lot of fantasy points. Just the way I like it. You know what? I mean, when I really bet this, I probably won't play sort of, and I'll probably bet someone that might actually score. So maybe I'll just break the rules a little bit here and just go with McMichael.
Wow. Just, I mean, the tap out of all tap outs to close a marathon of a podcast. Wouldn't expect it from anyone other than the Michael Granlund betting DJ Mitchell.
One more shot and we're fine. One more.
Come on,
you say whatever you want. He gets 2 shots and that parlay hits.
Oh,
we'll be watching.
Parlay too. Oh man. Oh
yeah,
man.
1 shot because Bobinski, Point, and who was the other one?
Malinsky fucking scored.
Oh,
he didn't get a power play point. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah. No, it was block shots. Dude, 2 block shots for Clark minus 145 or whatever it was. Just
fucking
free.
I hit the Malinsky thing 3-1. Just hit it. They get announced on the power play. He plummets down to 2-1. So I have I could have cashed out for gigabucks, but I had to boost. So I'm like, just gonna let it ride. And guess what? Get a, come on, Colorado, do your thing. All right. Anyway, if you missed it earlier, go check out the Badge Bros stream. I was on it for the second half, talking Zamboni, NHL playoffs, strategy, player takes, all sorts of stuff there with John. Always a good time. Badge Bros, pretty easy to find, but I also retweeted it. My Twitter is @FakeMoods. There's some visuals as well from my Sims. I will be updating the Zamboni manifesto in a new newsletter post sometime over the next week, hopefully by this weekend, but no promises. But yeah, so that'll be my Friday. There's going to be no Friday slate overview. It'll be time spent on the Zamboni, on the newsletter, moods.beehive.com. DJ, anything you want to plug or say before we go?
I retweeted it as well. No, just follow along. Playoffs are coming. That's it. Go Sabres.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for listening. For everyone except Mikhail Granlund, good luck out there on Thursday. So, from Doug, from DJ, from myself, have a good Thursday, everybody, and we will see ya.
You're saying they're looking like an idiot.
Well, is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong.